They see strength and assume it brings peace. They see power and believe it grants freedom. How foolish. True strength is not liberation. It is a cage, invisible to those outside, suffocating to those within. There was a time when I believed that being the strongest meant having choices, that if I became skilled enough, intelligent enough, powerful enough, I would be free to shape my own destiny. But life taught me a cruel lesson. The stronger you become, the fewer choices you truly have. Your strength becomes a prison of obligation, and the bars are forged by everyone who depends on you. Today, I speak to those who carry weight others cannot see, to those who are exhausted from being everyone's pillar, to those who have become so reliable that they've lost the right to be human. Listen carefully, because the world will not teach you this. It will celebrate your strength while consuming you with it. The world worships strength. Walk through any city, scroll through any platform, and you will see it. Images of physical perfection, stories of billionaires and their empires, motivational content telling you to become harder, stronger, more dominant. Everyone is chasing power, and society has made an industry of this chase. But they are chasing a phantom. They see only the surface of strength, the admiration, the respect, the way others step aside when the powerful enter a room. What they do not see, what they cannot see until they arrive at that summit themselves, is the isolation waiting there. Let me tell you what happens when you become the strongest in your space. First, you stop being a person. You become a symbol, a solution, a last resort. When problems arise that others cannot solve, they turn to you. Not because they want to burden you, but because you have proven you can handle what breaks others. And so you do. You solve the unsolvable. You carry the unbearable. And each time you succeed, the expectation grows heavier. I learned this young. I was called a prodigy before I understood what the word meant. My father would watch me train with eyes that held no warmth, only assessment. The clan elders would speak of my potential in political terms, as if I were a weapon to be deployed rather than a child learning to live. And with each achievement, each mission completed flawlessly, each enemy defeated, the space for me to simply exist as Itachi grew smaller. I became the Uchiha clan's greatest asset. And assets do not get to have bad days. Assets do not get to be uncertain. Assets do not get to fail. Do you see it in your own life? Perhaps you are the one at work who receives every crisis. The technical problem no one else can debug. The client no one else can satisfy. The project that is failing and needs rescue. Your competence has made you indispensable. But indispensable is just another word for trapped. Or perhaps you are the emotional pillar of your family. The one who remained stable when tragedy struck. The oldest sibling who stepped into a parental role too young. The friend everyone calls at 3 in the morning. You have been strong for so long that no one remembers you might need strength from someone else. This is the first burden. Your humanity becomes invisible to those who need your strength. There is a loneliness that comes with strength that is unlike any other isolation. When you are weak, you have permission to struggle. You have permission to ask for help, to show confusion, to admit when you are overwhelmed. Others will support you, guide you, forgive your mistakes. But when you become strong, that permission is revoked, not explicitly. No one announces it, but you feel the shift. The first time you show vulnerability after establishing yourself as capable, watch what happens. People become uncomfortable. They do not know how to process it. Their foundation has cracked, and they need you solid again as quickly as possible. Some will offer surface-level support, while clearly hoping you recover quickly. Others will simply wait for you to be useful again. And you learn. You learn that your pain makes others anxious, that your doubts create instability in those who lean on you, that your strength is not just your identity, it has become infrastructure for others' lives, so you stop sharing. You perform stability, even when you are breaking inside. I maintained composure through a terminal illness. My body was destroying itself, blood filling my lungs with each use of my abilities, vision fading, chakra reserves depleting. I was dying slowly, painfully, but I could not show it, could not slow down, could not ask for rest, because Sasuke needed me to be the insurmountable obstacle. The village needed me to be the threat that kept Akatsuki from acting recklessly. My partner needed me to be functional enough to complete missions. Everyone needed me to be something other than a dying young man who was tired, so I was what they needed. This is what strength costs. Your personal suffering becomes secondary to your utility. You learn to compartmentalize pain so thoroughly that sometimes you forget it is there until you are alone in the dark, and it comes flooding back all at once. Look at your own life. When was the last time you truly allowed yourself to fall apart? When was the last time you did not have to consider how your breakdown would affect others? When did you last have the luxury of being weak without consequences? The healthcare worker during the pandemic, who witnessed death daily, but had to remain functional because the system would collapse without them. The single parent who cannot afford a mental breakdown because children need feeding. The leader of a struggling company who carries the weight of employees' livelihoods. The activist who has become a symbol and can no longer afford to be uncertain because a movement depends on their conviction. They are all performing strength while drowning privately, and here is what makes this particularly cruel. People will praise you for it. They will call you resilient, inspiring, a rock. They will tell you how strong you are, and they will mean it as a compliment, never understanding that it is also a chain. Because once you are the strong one, you must remain the strong one. The role does not come with an exit. But perhaps you are thinking, is this not just complaining? Is this not weakness disguised as philosophy? No. Listen carefully. I am not telling you to abandon strength. I am not suggesting you become weak to escape these burdens. That would be a different kind of prison, the helplessness of those who depend entirely on others. What I am telling you is this. Understand what you have taken on, so you do not resent it. Understand the cost, so you can make conscious choices about when to pay it. True strength is not just capability. It is the wisdom to wield that capability responsibly.
No.
There were times I could have used my power selfishly. After I massacred my clan, following orders to prevent civil war, I could have turned that same violence on the village elders who orchestrated it. They were old, vulnerable. I was a master of assassination. It would have been easy, and arguably justified. They sent me to kill my own family. What greater betrayal exists? But I restrained myself. Not because I forgave them, not because I lacked the capability, but because killing them would have destabilized the village, created exactly the chaos my clan's elimination was meant to prevent. My personal desire for vengeance was irrelevant compared to the broader consequence. This is the responsibility of strength. Your actions carry weight beyond yourself. The stronger you are, the more your choices ripple outward, and sometimes, the strongest action is inaction. In your modern world, this manifests differently, but follows the same principle. The manager who could humiliate an incompetent employee, but chooses to coach them privately instead. The physically strong individual who walks away from a fight they would win because victory would prove nothing. The wealthy person who could crush a business competitor, but recognizes that building is better than destroying. And perhaps most importantly, the strong person who lets others take credit, who allows others to believe they have surpassed them. Because sometimes the greatest gift strength can give is the illusion of its absence. I did this with Sasuke. Our final battle, he believed he won. He believed his hatred, his determination, his growth had finally exceeded mine, and I let him believe it. I was dying anyway. My body was at its limit. But even if I had been healthy, I would have let him win. Light fig, so because Sasuke needed that victory. His entire identity had been built around surpassing me. If he had known I simply allowed it, it would have poisoned his growth. So I gave him his triumph and took that secret to my grave. The strong must sometimes let others feel stronger. Your ego is not worth more than their development. If you are the strongest in your space right now, whether in your workplace, your family, your social circle, I need you to understand something critical. Your burden is real. You are not imagining the weight. You are not being dramatic. The exhaustion you feel from constantly being everyone's solution is valid. The isolation of having no one who can truly support you the way you support others, that is real. The suffocation of being needed so completely that your own needs become secondary, That is the actual cost of strength. But your burden is also meaningful. You do not carry this weight because the universe is cruel. You carry it because you are capable of carrying it, and someone must. In a world full of chaos and fragility, you are stability. In a landscape of people who crumble under pressure, you are the foundation that holds. That matters. The single parent working 2 jobs while raising children alone. They are heroes in the most literal sense, holding together a family that would collapse without them. The technical expert fielding every crisis at 3 in the morning. They are keeping systems alive that others depend on. The friend who listens to everyone's problems while suffering silently. They are preventing isolation in others even while experiencing it themselves. This is not nothing. This is not thankless, even when no one thanks you. Because the alternative, a world where no one is strong enough to carry anything, where everyone crumbles and no one holds, that world is worse. You are paying a cost, but you are purchasing something valuable with that payment. You are purchasing stability for others, space for others to grow, time for others to heal, protection for others to feel safe. Your sacrifice is not wasted, but let me be equally clear about this. You are not required to sacrifice everything. Being the strongest does not mean you must destroy yourself for others. There is a difference between carrying weight and being crushed by it. And part of wisdom is knowing where that boundary lies. I failed at this. I carried everything alone until my body broke and I died at 21. I could have shared certain truths with others who had the clearance and capacity to help shoulder them. I could have allowed myself moments of rest. I could have trusted that the world would not immediately collapse if I showed a single crack. But I was young, and I had been taught by my clan that individual suffering was irrelevant compared to duty. So I suffered completely, and I died young. And while my death served its purpose, I sometimes wonder if a living Itachi could have served the people I cared about better than a martyred one. Do not make my mistake. You are allowed to set boundaries. You are allowed to say, I cannot take this on right now. You are allowed to let some problems go unsolved, to let some people figure things out themselves, to prioritize your own survival. Being the strongest means you have the greatest capacity. Not that you must use all of it all the time until you have nothing left. Think of it like this. If you deplete yourself completely, you become useless. You cannot help anyone from a state of total breakdown. Your strength is a resource that regenerates, but only if you allow it time to do so. Constant output with no recovery leads to permanent depletion. The strongest person who paces themselves will ultimately accomplish more and support more people than the strongest person who burns out trying to do everything at once. This is strategic strength. This is sustainable strength. And when you do need to rest, when you do need to be human instead of a solution, find people who can handle that. They are rare. Most people in your life are there because of what you provide them. They like who they are when they are around you, because you make their lives easier. But they will vanish or become uncomfortable when you stop performing that function. Let them. Your true circle is not the crowd who needs you. It is the few who see you, who recognize the weight you carry, and respect you for it, rather than simply adding to it, who understand that your strength is not infinite, and who do not punish you for having limits. These people are precious. Guard them carefully. I had one such person. Shisui Uchiha, my closest friend. He understood what it meant to be young and capable, in a clan that viewed us as tools. He carried his own unbearable weight, and for a brief time, we could be honest with each other about the cost. Savimewithend. When he died, I lost the only person who truly understood me, and my isolation became complete. Do not let your Shisui slip away. Do not be so consumed by strength that you fail to maintain the connections that remind you that you are still human underneath it all. So what does all this mean? What is the wisdom I am offering you? If you are the strongest in your space, accept it. Not with pride. Pride is irrelevant. Accept it as fact. You have capability others lack. You have capacity others do not possess. That is simply reality. Then ask yourself, what will I do with this reality? You can resent it. You can rage against the unfairness of carrying more than others. You can become bitter that your strength is a burden rather than a blessing. Many strong people become cruel this way, They punish others for being weak, because they are angry about being strong. This is a waste. Bitterness changes nothing except yourself, and the change is poison. Or you can accept the burden with clear eyes. You can say, yes, this is hard. Yes, it is unfair. Yes, I wish I could be weak sometimes, but I am not weak, and wishing changes nothing. So I will carry what I can carry, and make conscious choices about where my strength serves. This is the path of wisdom. Carry your burden, but do not let it consume you. Be strong for others, but maintain boundaries that preserve yourself. Sacrifice when sacrifice creates meaning, but do not martyr yourself needlessly. Your strength has made you a pillar. So be a pillar. But even pillars need foundations. Even pillars need maintenance. Even pillars, if loaded beyond their capacity, will crack. Know your capacity. Honor your limits. And understand that being the strongest does not mean being invincible. It means being strong enough to admit when you cannot be strong, and wise enough to recover so you can be strong again when it matters most. I lived and died carrying everything alone. It was necessary for my particular circumstances, but it is not a path I recommend. The world broke me slowly, and I let it, because I believed that was my purpose. But you have choices I did not. You live in a time where strength does not require total self-destruction, where asking for help does not mean weakness, where sharing burdens is possible. So share them, selectively, carefully, but share them. Be the strongest in your space, yes, but be the strongest who survives. Be the strongest who thrives. Be the strongest who remains human, even while carrying weight that would crush lesser people. That is the true burden and the true honor of strength. Not sacrificing everything until nothing remains, but carrying what you can carry with wisdom, with boundaries, with purpose, and with the understanding that your strength serves others best when you do not destroy yourself providing it. The world needs strong people, but it needs them alive, functional, and whole, not martyred, broken, and depleted. Be strong, but be sustainably strong. That is the lesson it took me a lifetime to learn, and I learned it too late to save myself. Do not make the same mistake. Your strength is valuable, but so are you. Beneath that strength, do not forget that. Do not let others forget it. And do not sacrifice the person you are for the function you serve. Be the strongest in the room, but remember that rooms change, and strength that destroys its bearer serves no one in the end. This is the burden. Carry it wisely.